Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, it's time for another BrickBucks update. My name is Jim, where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. So today I'm going to go over three mistakes that I've made as a reseller. I would say these are my three biggest mistakes. Why would you want to know about a small mistake? You want to know about the big mistakes. And I want you to know I appreciate the people that have been putting in the comments and sending me a direct message saying, hey, can you do a video on your mistakes? I think although they're mistakes, I definitely think it's a good thing to share because you learn from your mistakes, and hopefully you may learn something from this. So we're going to talk about the first mistake that I've made. This is the Teddy Ruxpin official return of the Storytime and Magic Bear. I have this right here. Now, when this set came out, well, it's not a set. It's non-Lego, which was part of the problem. When this came out, me and a few other resellers, we talked about this, and we were very excited about this set. We thought that this bear was going to do bonkers. It was going to go gangbusters. This was going to be the toy of the holiday season, and it was going to be sold out everywhere, and we were going to make tons of money. Well, it turned out it didn't happen. So this came out, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago, around November time, maybe October. And this was also around the time when Barnes & Noble had a promotion going on where for one weekend, in addition to the 10% off that you get for your Barnes & Noble membership, you got an additional 10% off. So you got 20% off on all purchases besides Lego. I think that was a restriction. And I said, this is great. I'm going to walk in there. So as soon as they unlocked the doors, I walked in there. I think somewhere around, it was more than $7,000 of gift cards. And they were like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? So I ordered 50 retail. MSRP I think is around 10,000 or something like that. So long story short, I got $10,000 worth of Teddy Ruxpins with my Barnes & Noble membership and my discounted credit cards for about $7,500. And they placed the order. It later came to my my driveway. And, when I'm leaving Barnes & Noble, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to turn that $7,500 into $20,000. This is going to be amazing. And I'm calling up my other reseller friends where, figuratively chest bumping each other. Yeah, this is a slam dunk. Well, guess what? This was far from a slam dunk. And if I had to estimate, I think maybe I lost around $1,500 doing that. What did I do wrong? Well, I really don't think I did any due diligence. And I was already I don't want to say established reseller, but I definitely wasn't a green reseller anymore. I had a lot of confidence with Lego. I tried to transition that into something else, and it just didn't work. And as you see, I still have a few of those sets. Now, you could see right here on Amazon, the buy box has it at $89, so it's still kind of not doing well. You could get it. It shows that you could get it as low as $64. So that was not a good investment for me. And real quick, I don't know about you, but I have family members that have a love-hate relationship with what I'm doing with Lego. And I've talked to some of you, and you shared that with me too. And there was this one relative that, she was just waiting. She was just waiting for me to make a mistake. And ever since I bought that Teddy Ruxpin, I never hear, that's all I hear is about the Teddy Ruxpin. But I think I only have like 5 left, so I'm looking forward to finally 3+ years later. So I'm really looking forward to getting this out of my possession and moving to something else. And when you look at Camel, you'll see, I mean, I had good intentions. When it first came out, it was around 280, but I never captured that. But, it quickly died, and it's still painfully having a slow death. Now, the good news is I have sold some for over $100. So, I have been able to make some profit out of some of the set, some of the boxes. I think the most I've made is maybe $20, and I'm happy to take it at this point. I really am. So that was my first mistake. My second mistake, this guy right here, Lego Ideas, NASA, Apollo Saturn, it is what it is. This set came out, I want to say July 1st of a few years ago. I was able to get this set back in June. So I jumped the gun and was able to get this set. I was able to get a lot of this set. And I know other people that got a lot of this set too. Now, my mistake that wasn't the mistake. My mistake was holding on to it. I think I had somewhere around 70 sets, and retail price at the time was, I think, $120. I think I was able to get it for just under $100 if you know what you're doing. I just held on to this. And the reason why I held on to it was because I was wanting to sell it at this price right here, $262. But since this set sold out so quickly, and it really was like the worst kept secret on how to get this set a month prior, because everybody I knew was getting it to resell. They were selling this set for $150, $160, and I'm like, $150, $160, that's ridiculous. But here's the thing, and I get what my previous strategy was, even though it wasn't good. If you have 100 of these sets and you're able to do a quick flip in a month and make $50 worth of profit, that's a pretty good deal. You should take it. I mean, I had this one friend who had I'm not exaggerating, they had close to 500 sets, and they were just cranking them out. They were they sell their Lego sets normally at top dollar too, and everybody I know is like, you got to sell this set, you got to sell. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna wait. And so I waited, and I thought that was a good strategy, waiting, because this is a Lego Idea set, so most of the time this set will only have like a 9-month run or a 1-year run. This sucker had like a 3-year run. So my mistake was not liquidating this set when I should have, and taking that money and putting it into new Saturn V rockets. Because I had I had one buyer call me up, and she said, hey, I got these Saturn rockets here. She says, I could get you a couple hundred for $90 a pop if you want. And I was so tired of looking at these Saturn V rockets that were on my shelf. I said no. And, that was just a terrible mistake, a huge missed opportunity. I could have, I could have doubled my position in the Saturn V rocket, and, that was my mistake. So it is what it is right there. Now, and real quick, let's go to Camel. And you could see that, this came out, well, it really came out, I think, in July. It has June 1st, but and it retired like a year and a half ago, and this set was everywhere, folks. I mean, this was like Benny's spaceship and that X-wing starfighter, that Poe Dameron's X-wing starfighter. This thing was everywhere, and which was another reason why it didn't interest me, because I was like, well, I don't know. So that's a big mistake. Now, the third mistake that I did, it's not necessarily a specific mistake. I just want to talk to you about the times that I have been too distracted into something that was not, was not benefiting my business. When the Lego Ideas Women of NASA came out, me and another buddy of mine who's watching this video, I'm sure, we were ready to go. As soon as the doors unlocked, we were ready to, just walk up and grab hundreds of these sets. But we were unable to, because there were limits on it. There were other restrictions, and I just kept on going back, and even though that there was no sign of success, I kept on trying, which isn't a bad thing to do. You do need to keep on trying when it comes to certain things, but this was just something that took up way too much of my time. The Bella Baby, this is not a Lego set. This is a non-Lego set. That's another example. If you put Bella Baby in the search box on Amazon, I'm sure you'll find it. That was something that took up way too much of my time. I just couldn't get the inventory. Now, the same friend that I chatted with on Women of NASA, he was able to get a ton of Bella Baby. Good for him. That benefited him. But, not being able to acquire any, when I look back at it, I just took way too much time than I should have. I should have just moved on to other stuff. I should have maybe doing due diligence on other Lego sets, things of that sort. Teddy Ruxpin, we already talked about that mistake, but that was something I just didn't do due diligence in, and other friends of mine didn't do due diligence in, and then we got stuck holding it. So you'll see. I don't know how often you go on forums, but there's a lot of Lego forums out there, and I've mentioned this in a past video. Anytime you go on a forum, really use a filter. If there's somebody that has some advice that you think is good, I would kind of research that user handle, see if they're if they're an admin of that forum, if how well they are investing, because everybody has an opinion on everything, and the rest of the saying with that. So don't let other people distract you on forums. They're running one way to one Lego set. If you're running another way to another Lego set, that's probably something you should stick with. Now, you can, it doesn't hurt to listen to them, but always use a filter. A big distraction is Amazon and eBay, which platform to use. Now, I am finally ungated on Amazon, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in future videos. But there was a time that I was restricted on selling on Amazon, and to be honest, I was fine with that. This was a non-distraction for me. But I've seen people that were selling on Amazon become restricted on Amazon, and they're throwing a fit, rightfully so. I'm not saying they don't have a legitimate grievance, because they do, but I just saw it consume their lives, and it wasn't pretty. There was a time many years ago that I was able to sell on Amazon, Legos on Amazon, but I didn't do much, if at all. So it really didn't necessarily affect my livelihood whenever they restricted it to me. But I adapted. I stuck with architecture. I stuck with 10 to 15 SKUs. And here's the deal: if you're starting out on Lego, your first year or two, 10 to 15 SKUs is pretty good. It depends what your quantity of those SKUs are, but that's pretty good. And you could make some serious return on investment on eBay with 10 to 15 SKUs, and that's what I was doing. I had friends, and it's very nice of them. I had friends complain to me about how I'm not able to sell on Amazon more than I was complaining to them. So, I just stuck with my niche. I continued to dig in, and I didn't let Amazon be a distraction to me. And the last thing, this wasn't a distraction to me, but I know this has been a distraction to other people. I kind of purposely haven't been talking about the Technic Bell Boeing Osprey, because here's the deal. And, if you're a builder, you're excluded from this. But I've seen so many people salivating over this set because they want to buy it and flip it. And it's consumed them. They've spent a lot of time trying to get this set, because it's not available in the United States. I'm sure most of you know that there was a limited quantity in the UK. So if there's no quantity available in the United States, why am I going to even worry about this set? Now, if you're a builder and you want to, for the love of building, that's great. You want this set, by all means, go on eBay and buy it for, top dollar. But, if you're a true seller, this should not even be a distraction. And I will say this when it comes to this set. Since I'm talking about, I deliberately didn't do a video on this, but since I'm here, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year, Lego changed their policy a little bit. I'm not talking about they're going to start doing military stuff, sets, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tweak their policy just a little bit, where they would allow a set like this to come in, and then next year they re-released it. So if that happens, just remember you heard it here first. So those are my three distractions. I'm sorry, my three mistakes. I would love to hear if anybody had any major mistakes during their reselling journey. Please feel free to drop it in the comment section. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and check us out on Facebook if you like. I'm Jim with BrickBucks.net. Always, always, always go out there and get it.